do 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 do. I'm making a video. Oh oh oh. Hey guys, Ashley here again. Welcome back. Today I'm doing a book review on The Raven Boys. If I can only find my book. The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater? I think that's how you pronounce the last name. Again, I'm sorry if I butchered that. So I picked up this book at the library. I've always been interested in this book series. I've seen a lot of different booktubers do reviews on it and stuff, but I never really knew what it was about. So I kind of went into this book blind, which I really appreciated in the end because, I don't know, it had me appreciating it more. I only gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, I believe, on Goodreads. I really need to check those before I make these videos. I'll remember that for next time. I feel like I should put a Funko Pop next to the books I review, just to like how I feel about them in the end. Oh, that would be good. What Funko Pop describes the Raven Boys? I don't really... Marty? Would Marty be... I guess Marty's how I feel about it, and I guess you'll understand when we get into spoilers. So for the spoiler-free brief section of the book, Blue, who is the main character of the Raven Boys, which is such a cool name by the way, just whatever, she lives in a family of psychics, and yet she is the only one who is not psychic. She does have powers that enhance the powers of psychics. Basically her mom says it just makes everything kind of louder. So that's just basically what Blue does, but she kind of feels like the odd person in the group because, you know, in a family of psychics, she's the only one who can't talk to the dead or see the future or do spells or whatever. I guess not really spells, that's more of the witchy part of this world. But that is something I really appreciated. It was more like a modern day witch psychic kind of family, which I always appreciate. I've always been I'm like in a weird mood for that kind of stuff, and not like a Harry Potter-esque thing. I think I've really grown out of that. I want something where they're more integrated in society. I want more stories where it's just like an everyday thing where the world isn't ending, which I think it really is with this book, but we'll get into that with the spoilers. But I really liked it. I only gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, however. It just didn't have that one thing I really wanted. I can't really describe it. It's definitely... I thought it was going to be fast in the book because one of the first quotes is, Blue Sergeant had forgotten how many times she'd been told that she would kill her true love. Wonderful. So you would think with that opening line, it would be a fast-paced story, you know, all these adventures and doing all this fun stuff, and it wasn't. It was just kind of like Blue saw the ghost of this boy within the first few chapters, and one of the new psychics, Neve? I don't know how to say that name, and I'm sorry. She was like, oh, so either you're gonna kill that guy, or he's your true love, which means she is gonna kill him. And then nothing really happened for like half the book. We get all these random perspectives, which I didn't know they were different perspectives at first. It kind of took me a minute to get into it, but like, oh, we're in the mind of someone else right now. Okay, let me get back into that. Which I wasn't expecting, I guess, because it wasn't really told in the summary that it was going to be different perspectives throughout the book. And honestly, I didn't see the need of the one perspective. I mean, it was nice to have, but I don't know. I just honestly didn't really feel like I needed it. Maybe we could have gotten that information from something else. But, I mean, that's just what I'm going to say for now for spoiler-free stuff. Stick around if you've read the book, or if you haven't. I mean, if you just want to know. Sometimes I do that. I watch spoiler videos just to know if I want to read the book. So, yeah. Here we go. So, I didn't like the boys of the book. I feel bad because I feel like a lot of people love all the boys in this book, and I just didn't. Okay, I think if I had to pick one that I liked, it had to be Gainsey. Gainsey? I don't know how to pronounce any of these names. They're so weird names. I guess I liked him the most. Yeah, he was a pompous rich guy in the first few chapters, but once you got to know him and understand his purpose and him confessing like, I don't know anything different, and he actually wants to learn. He doesn't just say these things all the time. It's just like, oh, whatever, I'm rich. Like, he actually wants to learn. Like, I didn't like Adam. Adam was weird. Adam was not weird and annoying, but I understand he comes from an abusive home and an abusive household, and obviously those people are traumatized from the experience that they've had, and they deal with things differently, but it just felt like every time G. His name is G, because I can't pronounce his freaking name. Every time G tried to help Adam, and I understand in the beginning, it was just like, I'm gonna help you, and Adam's like, no, like, I don't want your money, like, then you're gonna be in control of me like my father is. I understood that, but there comes a point when you have to understand you are in this abusive situation, and someone is here trying to help you, and they're trying to help you for a reason. Now, again, it is an abusive household, and you're gonna give excuses for the person who's abusing you, especially if that one person is your flesh and blood. It just, I don't know, maybe because I haven't really experienced somebody who's been in that kind of traumatizing state, I couldn't really connect with it, but every time it was brought up, I was just like, ugh, we're talking about this again? Like, come on. Ronan felt like a Sirius Black to me. All the characters felt like the Marauders from Harry Potter to me, and Blue was Lily Potter. Or, what was her last name? Lily Evans? Yeah, Lily Evans. And I don't know. It was weird that that's how they felt to me, even though they were all described differently. It was just their personalities, and maybe it's just the trope of it all, of what they all represent. But yeah, so Ronan felt like a Sirius Black, especially when he adopted a freaking raven. And people kept making these comments about how he's more raven than boy, and how he knows how his father died, and all this stuff. And then we don't learn anything about it. Like, don't give me all these hints and stuff and not give me some more context of what does he know? Why is he more raven than boy? Like, what the flip is going on? Like, I mean, it is a 4-book series, I believe. So I hopefully will learn in the next few books what exactly that means. But it was just annoying. Again, there were a lot of things that kept getting mentioned throughout this book, and I'm like, okay, you keep mentioning it. Tell me what that means. Like, come on. You gotta give me some context. I would say Noah was my second favorite. We really didn't get to know him much until the end when, spoiler alert, we found out he was dead. I jokingly figured it out when in the first few chapters he's like, hey, my name's Noah, I've been dead for 7 years. I was like, that'd be funny if that was true. And then it was, and I was just like, oh, I was right. It was weird because once Blue came along, he became a more likable character once Blue came along, and I don't know if that's because of her powers of enhancing things, so his spiritual being, I guess, got enhanced. But what specifically, was it the Lleylines that made it so no one else would notice that he just randomly popped up one day? And why did he choose them? Like, can he just pop up wherever he wants to? Why can he pop up in this one house when he died in the forest all these years ago? And why these boys? Like, there was no explanation of what connected everything. Was it because G was looking for the Lleylines? And they really didn't describe what Lleylines were. I ended up watching a documentary about King Arthur and learned that kind of stuff. So I wish there was more of an explanation of what those were for people who don't know what it is. I don't like having to do research outside of a book to understand it, which I still don't fully understand what Lleylines are. They're like spiritual lines that make a triangle, and like, I don't know. And then I was thinking, Glendower is his name, right? This ancient cane that they're trying to find. So they brought his dead body over from England to Virginia. Now, apparently, in these Lleylines, you don't die, technically. You're, like, still alive, but he's, like, in an immortal sleep, and whoever wakes him gets a wish. It's like a genie, but you don't gotta rub a lamp. Did they, like, specifically sail over a Leyline so that he didn't age or anything? Because back then, it took months to get over there. So how did he not, like, deteriorate into, like, is he just a moldy zombie? Ew, that would be kind of cool. He was, like, a moldy zombie guy, and they're like, oh my god, and he was just like, yeah, they kind of fucked up when they sent me over here, but, you know, whatever. I don't know, that would be kind of cool, actually. I want to see that. I kind of hope that happens. It's not going to, but I want to see that happen. So they hinted that Blue's father came from a ritual that her mom and her friends did, and then her mom and him, Artemis was his name, had relations, and she got pregnant with Blue, and then the day she gave birth to Blue, Daddy disappeared. So what exactly did they do? Like, is he a demon from a different dimension? Is he from is he from a different time, and he, like, time traveled to be with them? I don't know. That was kind of weird and wasn't really explained. Again, there's just a lot of questions in this book, and like I want to give it another chance. I think that's why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I think honestly if I read the rest of the series, which I do plan on doing because I am intrigued to learn a little bit more about this world and what exactly is going to happen with everything, if I don't have certain questions answered, not in the way that I want them to be, but if they aren't answered in ways that make sense, I might bump this book down to a 2. Which sucks because it's not a terrible book. I feel like if high school Ashleigh had read this book, she would have loved it. She would have been amazed by it. It would have been incredible. But 22-year-old Ashleigh, I'm kind of iffy on it. I don't know. There's just a lot of questions I have with everything. You know, can Noah eat now? Can everyone see Noah? Like, what's going on with the whole Noah situation? Oh yeah, Nevi, or Nevi, whatever her name is. What is she? Is she a witch, technically? Is she still a psychic? Can psychics become witches? Are they like, do they butt heads? I don't know, that's like something I want answered. Also, what is she trying to get from the Lleylines? I just want more answers on what these damn Lleylines are. Where exactly, I kind of want more information on where they are throughout the world. Like, are there a bunch of them? What exactly makes a ley line? Is it kind of like the tectonic plates? Or like what? I don't know. What defines a ley line? Is Blue gonna get psychic powers? I think that would be interesting, but I also think it would take away from her character having grown without these psychic powers. I think she's grown a lot as a person, and especially being in a family where everyone is psychic. You know, that really defines you as a person. And as much as it sucks, it's who she is, you know? I really liked that Blue grew up in a household full of women and full of just women of different natures and all this stuff, especially with the psychics. You know, there's the one who answers phone calls for people. She has her psychic phone line. She has Persephone, who's like this Luna Lovegood of the world, I guess. She's all like whimsical and out there, and she just says random things and they happen all throughout. And I don't know, it was just, I want to learn more about that family. She mentioned that there's like a bunch of other people in the house, and I want to know who these people are. What specifically do they do for the household, you know? Like, how exactly do they make all of this money? Also, does anyone go to school? I feel like no one went to school. They went to class once, and they never talk about Blue going to class. I know she goes to public school, but like, come on. What's it like being the weird girl in her school? Like, does she get picked on a lot? Like, what goes on with that? That would be really cool. I just want to learn more about their I'm very much an everyday lives kind of person. I like to know a little bit of everything. So why did I choose Marty McFly, you may ask? Time traveler extraordinaire. Went back 30 years. You gotta just subtract 30 years from everything, and that's where Marty goes. I guess I picked him because he reminds me a lot of Gainsleigh, however you pronounce that name. Although Marty was kind of thrust into that world, he became very interested in it. Actually, I'm gonna change it. Marty, you're going back up here. Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake is who I choose. Why do I choose Nathan Drake? Because he is a treasure hunter. He hunts things, and he hunts history specifically. Him and Gainsleigh would get along so well, although Nathan Drake is more pirates and seaworthy kind of things, and Gainsleigh is more like magical ley line stuff, although there's some magical elements in the Uncharted series. I think those two would get along a lot. So yeah, Nathan Drake, congratulations. First Funko Pop pick of my book reviews. I don't have many Funko Pops. I don't know how well this is gonna go. This might give me an excuse to get more Funko Pops, because I can be like, oh, this reminds me of this book. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching. Again, my name is Ashleigh. I make videos every Tuesday and Saturday, and I will see you guys next time.